Hi, Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to the Magellan Network Show. For nearly 30 years, I've been focused on helping advisors become the best both personally and professionally. This show is dedicated to sharing with you tools, tips, strategies, distinctions, things that are working now. I'd love for you to take a moment, and if you're watching this on YouTube, click the like button and also the subscribe button so you get automatic updates. And if you happen to be listening to us on a podcast, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast and you leave a positive review for us. Now, with that said, let's get to today's episode. Hi, this is Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, I hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend, and unlike last year, right, which was a very unique year, welcome to the unofficial start of summer for financial advisors. And in this episode, what I want to do is give you some best practices, some strategies, not only to get a lot of downtime this summer, but also position you to have a rock star fall/end of the year for 2021. So first off, let's talk about some strategies. I think the first thing is be okay with a change of pace, a bit of a difference. The reality is last year, ever since this pandemic started, people have been cooped up, right? And yes, there's still some areas of the country, it's a little uneven right now, but my sense of the matter is that people are going to want to get out. They're going to go enjoy themselves. They're going to get out and want to appreciate life. So I think, business for a lot of people I'm not going to say take a back seat, but I think you're going to see a little different pace to it, and be okay with that. I mean, truly do that. A couple weeks ago, I was in Scottsdale, Arizona. I hosted 2 of my mastermind groups live for the first time in over a year. And, just conversations, discussions with people, members, it was very apparent to me that there is a real pent-up demand for getting out and resuming kind of our travel, getting around people, experiencing life. So I think we've got to be okay with that. That's number one. And that means as far as your scheduling goes, don't worry about having, don't take June, July, and August, right? And say, well, I'm going to be as productive, or I'm going to have as many meetings. I think you'll do a lot of check-in calls. I think you'll do a lot of check-in notes. But be okay with, if people want to push stuff off. I mean, it's not the end of the world. You also deserve a break, by the way, which we'll get to. The other piece is be very clear on your calendar. So what do I mean by that? I mean, I want you to have a very definitive June, July, and August calendar that delineates the 3 types of days most advisors have. Tactical days, working in the business. Strategic days, working on the business. Renewal days, being gone from the business. I know a couple of months ago I did an episode on the different types of time or days advisors have. You can probably find it on my YouTube channel if you want to go check that out, or if my people are nice enough to go find it and put a link here, that'd be great too. I think the other thing is, so when you're clear with that, make sure that you're allocating maybe not as many tactical days as you would have in Q1 or up until Memorial Day, and you'll also have more tactical time come Labor Day. But in this middle period of the year, I want you to really focus on making sure you have strategic days for strategic projects, which I will address as part of our conversation today. But I also want to make sure you take an absolute minimum of 4 renewal weeks. Like down, vacay, get away, go back, experience life. 4 of them between now and Labor Day. Why? Because in talking to pretty much a vast majority of all my personal coaching clients, there is a lot of burnout in our space. Because let's face it, for the last 12 to 15 months, what are your options? Well, I can't go anywhere, so I might as well work. If you're working from home, the lines got blurry, right? I know people in this industry, being advisors, who literally were in their offices Saturday and Sunday because there's nothing else they could do, especially in the Northeast and some states were really really locked down, right? They really didn't have a lot of options to go do anything. So you either watched Netflix or you worked, right? That was basically it. So I think we're to a point now where we've got to sit there and say, okay, just think of it like this. I had X amount of weeks last year to go on vacation I didn't use, right? I had all these vacation days I didn't use. Use them this summer. Go out and celebrate. Go out and live life. So in my game, a minimum of 4, right? You want to take 5, 6? I'm totally cool with that, right? Trust me, you still have more than enough days, you still have more than enough tactical days to do what you need to do inside of your game for the summer. Okay? Which is fine. Now, as far as where you want to allocate them. So these, again, this is what I recommend. Do whatever that is going to fit your situation. I absolutely love the idea of the last week of June and the week of July 5th. It's like a 2-week window there. Think of it like a mid-year break, halftime, right? Why don't you take 2 weeks? And, if you can go somewhere, great. If not, you just chill out, unwind, right? Maybe you take 1 or 2 strategic days, you do a mid-year review. That's something I'm going to do with all my clients and members of Magellan Network. I'm actually going to walk them through a mid-year review process so we can make some tweaks for second half, which starts obviously the week after the 4th or the week after the 5th of July. So definitely take those 2. And then, another 2 somewhere, right? Maybe a weekend the end of July, maybe a week at the end of August, or maybe 2 weeks at the end of August, whatever you want to do. Minimum is 4, okay? You want to do that. And don't worry, your business will be there. It will be there when you get back. It's not like you're going to disappear. People are going to be doing their thing too, so don't stress it. The only reason why an advisor won't do this, by the way, is because they're in scarcity mode. They're scarce. They're fearful. Like, if I go away, I'm not going to make enough money or I'm going to lose my momentum. And the reality is, the more time you're away from your business, the faster it grows. The more time you spend working on your business, the faster it grows. You know what doesn't make your business grow? Spending time working in it without a break. Okay, so we want to do that. The other piece is that do not ever, and I mean this, ever say to yourself, I really have nothing to do today, so I'm going to go in the office and just kind of hang out. That creates terrible anchors, terrible associations, bad habits, low standards, and then when you want to turn the switch back on, it's hard to go find that switch because you basically buried it under piles of bad habits, right? So here's the deal. When you're in the game, you're in the game. So if you say, hey, I'm going to get up in the morning, do my morning ritual, I'm going to hit the office at 8 o'clock, I'm going to maybe 1 or 2 review Zooms I'm going to do, check in with some people, I'm going to wrap up about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm going to go play 18. Or I'm going to go hang out with my kids. Or maybe after you get done hanging out with the kids for a couple days, you've had enough, you got to go play 18. Whatever you're going to do, right? Go play tennis, whatever passions and hobbies you have. I would rather you give a solid 5 hours to your business and crush it and go out and play than to mess around and lie to yourself that you put in an 8 to 9 hour day, which only about 4 of those are really productive. Go live life, right? So we don't play office, we don't shopkeep, we don't hang out, we don't do any of that, right? So we're out there. Now if you say, hey, I want to play a different game, like I've got clients who say, hey, I'm taking Monday and Fridays off all summer. I'm taking Monday off, taking Friday off, I'm going to run my game Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to take 4 to 6 weeks off. I am totally down for that. Again, what are the rules, right? Now, the other part, which I'll probably talk more about in August when we visit, is that what you also want to be doing, if you're talking to people and they say, look, I'm going to take the summer off, let's talk about this after Labor Day. That's great. Because we're going to reach out to them before Labor Day, give them the calendar. So what you're going to do is create demand. So even if you can't get somebody to meet with you right now or take an action with you right now, it doesn't mean we can't get them to agree to something down the road, which we then go ahead and follow up with. That'll be my conversation with you guys in August. August, to me, sets the tone for September, October, and November. But we'll save that for an August conversation. All right? So lots of downtime. The other thing which would be very, very powerful to do is think about maybe a couple of strategic projects that maybe you want to get done. Now, when I say strategic project, I'm going to give you examples, right? Maybe example, you want to refresh your website, or maybe you want to tweak your branding. Maybe you want to work on creating an updated version of your newsletter. Maybe you want to go learn some software, maybe get a little bit more proficient with your CRM, whether it's Salesforce or Redtail or Wealthbox, whatever it happens to be, right? Maybe you want to research cryptocurrencies. I don't know what it is for you, right? But summer's a great time to work on that. In addition, which I know some of you are going to sit there and say, "Yeek, this is a horrible idea," but it works really well. Make sure you have a peek at your CE credits. Don't wait till December. Don't wait till like you're trying to finish out the year, doing business planning, handling your RMDs, all the other stuff that you need to do, and then you realize you're short on CE credits. Like, let's take inventory now and then take a couple strategic days this summer and knock them out and be done with it, right? This is what summer's for. It's for downtime, strategic time, and yes, we're still going to move the needle. Yes, we're still going to have windows in there to see clients and do reviews. It's not like we're not going to talk to anybody for 3 months, but I do want you to recognize and be okay if the pace or you want to change your game up. Like, again, I've got clients that, we think of our world in thirds, kind of the, beginning of the year third, the summer third, and then the end of the year, third. And the first and the last one, right, have very intense windows. The middle one, why not take a sabbatical? Which I didn't really think about till I'm speaking to you guys now. This is going to really be interesting. I've got 4 clients, which they don't know each other, by the way. They're all going to Hawaii in July. And they're all going for 3 weeks. So what they're really doing is they're going to leave like the 8th or 9th of July. And they all, like I said, they're all different parts of the country. But what's fascinating is when you look at July 5th, right? Well, that week's almost shot also. So in essence, they've created almost a 30-day mini sabbatical for themselves. One of the most powerful tools which this industry does not talk about. And it's only been in like the last 4 or 5 years I've started to see some of my clients that do it. And obviously last year COVID kind of shut it all down. But it really is the best practice to once a year, most of the time in the summer, take a mini sabbatical of 3 to 4 weeks where you just shut it down and you go ahead and you attack one of your bucket list goals, one of your bucket list trips. And I know somebody's sitting there saying, well, I've got little kids. So fine, take 3 weeks, hang home. Or throw the kids, go over to an RV, do what you got to do, right? Enjoy it, right? Everybody who's ever done that. So I probably have had maybe 5 clients start this. One is a Ringleader. And when you think about doing them, and I'll probably devote an episode shortly for this subject. What's interesting about that is everybody's done it. There's 2 things that came out of it. Boy, it was one of the best things I did, and why did I wait so long to do it? So I will tell you that if you decide to play the mini sabbatical game, you will become addicted to it, and that's a positive. And inside of that, you'll become a better advisor, better person, better leader, better everything. You know why? That's a full charge on your emotional battery. Full charge, right? And we like those. We like full charges. So just to give you some thoughts for the summer, right? So real quick recap. Be okay with the pace, right? Set your calendar the way you want to set it. That's cool. Make sure my advice to you is take 2 weeks mid-year. Take another 2 weeks at minimum somewhere in the summer. Get enough downtime so we crush it in the fall. Do not go into the fall wishing you had some downtime, right? Let's get it done. Let's calendar it. Don't sit here and say to yourself, oh man, once I get caught up, then I'll do it. No, you won't. That's a conversation you've had with yourself for years. Guess what? Not going to happen. Let's be very intentional this summer to really enjoy life. Okay, that's my message to you. And again, if any of this resonated with you, please check out MagellanNetwork.net. If you want to check out more about my work and what I do with advisors, love to see if I can make a difference in your world, both personally and professionally. And with that, get your summer game figured out, and I'll see you all next week for another episode. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, if any of this resonated with you, I invite you to come to MagellanNetwork.net, and we have a powerful group coaching community of like-minded advisors. Come in for a trial. You and I will have a one-on-one conversation. Let's see if I can help elevate your game both personally and professionally.